They say that life is like a roll of toilet paper.
The closer to the end, the faster it goes.
Today, the 125-year-old woman shares her wisdom.
And a little song about one of the quirks of growing older.
I was not born brave, I walked in shaky shoes.
Fear doesn't stop you from dying, it stops you from living.
Drop the act, take off the mask and feel real.
There is only one you in all creation, so be yourself. Everybody else is taken.
We have so much to learn from one another. Thank God we're in this together.
You are not alone. No, you're not alone.
Hey friends, fasten your emotional seatbelts for Grammy-nominated hit songwriters and best-selling authors Stowe Dailey and Karen Taylor-Good. Today on Musically Speaking with StoweGood.
I'm Stowe Dailey.
And I'm Karen Taylor-Good.
Together, we are StoweGood. And we are your hosts today on Musically Speaking, and we want to thank you for joining us. We hope this episode finds you on a lovely walk, perhaps, maybe driving down a beautiful back road, or maybe even lounging in a big old bubble bath.
I love that.
But wherever you are, we hope you are well.
Yes, we do. And you know what? If you're listening to this particular podcast, there's a good chance that it was sent to you by your sister, your female coworker, or your best friend.
And that is because they want you to hear the song that is featured in today's episode. And it seems to be resonating very strongly with women.
Yes, you'll see why. But you're just going to have to wait a little while, just a few minutes, because we need to set it up here. Okay. So today, we are talking about a subject that everybody, if you're lucky, will get to deal with, and that subject is getting older. And it seems like many people have written about this subject, yeah?
Right, and you and I did some separate research, didn't we? Each of us gathered quotes on aging, the ones that spoke to us.
I can't wait to hear yours, Stowe.
Well, I can't wait to hear yours.
Oh, ye who is 11 and a half years younger than I. Go ahead, I'm sure they're all quite profound.
Oh, they are.
Go ahead.
I got one by C.S. Lewis. He said, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." Isn't that, doesn't that give you hope?
It does. However, I was more drawn to Larry the Cable Guy, who said, "Inside every older person is a younger person wondering, what the heck happened?" Your turn.
Okay, this one by Anonymous. Do not regret growing older. It is a privilege denied to many.
That's good. I have to admit that's good.
Yeah.
I like the Betty White one I found. She said, the older you get, the better you get. Unless you're a banana. Go ahead, Miss Profoundness.
Okay. Youth is the gift of nature, but age is a work of art.
We need a little violin music playing over. No, that's really lovely. And Mark Twain said this, and boy, is this true. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
Wow. That's what I'm shooting for.
Me too.
I'm trying not to mind.
Me too.
Well, finally, there's Joan Rivers. She is one of our favorites, and she said, "Life is short. Calm down. Relax. It's all funny."
Yes, go Joan. Okay, so sweet listeners, inspired by the likes of Joan Rivers, we have written a song. Actually, it's a parody, which addresses a condition that is rampant among women of a certain age.
Yes, are there any of our listeners out there of a certain age?
I'll bet.
Well, you can be upset by this particular condition, or you can laugh about it. As for us, we chose the latter.
Yes, we did. And we're so willing to laugh about it that we're going to do it live for you right here, right now. So here comes a naked, raw, unadorned rendition of a condition and a song, actually, that you will recognize.
Sisters, we feel your pain.
mustache. I tweeze a little hair or two.
They're growing and growing at a radical pace, and I'm in trouble. I'm mowing and mowing like weeds on my face. A sea of stubble, they move from my legs to my chin.
In this charming new age, I put on my flannel PJs and tweeze a little hair or four.
The truth becomes clearer in front of my lighted mirror. I tweeze a couple hundred more. They're growing and growing, it's out of control, and I can't take it. They're glowing and showing a sight to behold. For heaven's sake, it's like I'm turning into a man.
We're in the elite club, the furry sorority club. We tweeze a little hair or two.
And if you're bedridden, I'll help keep your secret hidden. I'll tweeze a little hair for you. Together, together, we'll keep them at bay. It's all so taxing, forever and ever. They won't go away. Have you tried waxing? It never gets better. And we say, oy vey, there's no relaxing for the rest of our plucking lives.
Stowe, tell me, what have I missed?
Electrolysis.
Tried it, and that made me scream.
Oh yeah. How about laser beams?
Yeah, 'cause threading's just weird.
Oh yeah.
Guess
We'll live with a beard.
Okay, so there's something that no one ever told us about.
They did not.
No.
But, let's not be sexist here. We women aren't the only ones whose hair is migrating. You men listeners, you may notice that it's leaving the top of your head and reappearing in your nose and your ears.
Yeah, and eyebrows.
Yes, and your eyebrows.
So speaking of ears, here's another thing that they didn't tell us. Bones stop growing after puberty, and muscle and fat cells also stop dividing. But cartilage in our ears and noses continues to grow until the day we die.
Golly. Okay, and also from the internet, not only does the cartilage grow, but the earlobes elongate from gravity. And that makes your ears look even larger. Okay, I'm actually looking forward to one of these things.
Yeah?
Yeah, not so much the ears looking big, but several years ago, they lopped off a bit too much of my nose. And I think it's finally going to be the perfect size when I'm about 96.
Well, I look forward to that. Okay, so we know we have some young listeners out there, and you guys are probably still at the age where you can get out of bed without sound effects. But really, we don't want to scare you.
No, we really don't. Look, so we've mentioned some interesting and possibly slightly unpleasant things that happen to our bodies as we get older. But honestly, guys, they are totally outweighed by the fabulous things that happen to our insides, to our minds and to our souls.
Yeah. Yeah, like my skin might not be as youthful as it used to be, but I'm way more comfortable in it.
That's so smart. Right. And I have to admit, I spent the majority of my 20s, 30s, and 40s being ruled by, how do we say this? My lower chakra, possibly by my hormones. And boy, can that get you in trouble.
Yeah.
That is no longer the case. And it's better.
I agree.
What else? What's better?
Well, when I was young, there was so much I didn't know. And I mean, now I feel like I have this database of experience. Like I've been through so many things. So like if a young person comes up to me with a life question, chances are I might actually have some knowledge about that subject, that I can share with them.
Yes, I've heard you. I've heard you share some very knowledgeable things with younger people. Another thing, I think there's absolutely a freedom that comes with getting older. For me, the freedom from having to be famous, and that was a painful one most of my life. Yeah. Freedom from feeling like I have to please people. Oh, was I a big people pleaser? And I don't know, freedom from niceness. It's not that I'm a mean person.
No.
But I don't feel like I always have to be nice. You might say, I've grown a pair of cojones in my maturity. And I'm very proud of them.
Yeah. Also, one of the nice things about getting older is seeing your kids turn into really cool people. Like, after all the years of worrying if they would turn out okay. Mm-hmm. It's lovely to see them turning into people that you actually like and admire.
Yes. And you know what? If we have some listeners out there for whom that is not yet true at this moment, please have faith. We can both attest to the fact that there is still time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so quite honestly, Stowe, I would not go back. Not 10 years, not 5 years, not one, actually. Would you?
Not unless I could know everything that I know now.
Right.
Because being young is like having this incredible, good-looking, powerful car. It goes really fast, but you don't know how to drive it. You're hurting people. You're hurting yourself. And you don't know where you're going. So
that's really true. That's great.
I would not want to go back.
So, younger listeners, please look forward to getting older. Your car/body might not be as sleek and fast as it was, but it is a valuable classic. And you know what? Just like a classic car, you need to take care of it. We recommend going to the gym. I go to the gym every day when I'm home. And when we're on the road, we do the best we can. Keep moving. We really want to recommend this book. It's called Younger Next Year. It's by Chris Crowley and Henry Lodge. The tagline of the book is, live strong, fit, and sexy until you're 80 and beyond. Check that book out, Younger Next Year. How else do you care for your classic car?
Well, I like to drink a lot of water. I think that's very important. Good food. Healthy as I can get it. Mm-hmm. And my aunt, who lived to be 94 years old, was always reminding folks like me to keep learning, to keep your mind active and include young people in your life, young-minded people. This helps keep you young. So
that's why I keep you around, Stowe.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's time for something.
Well, it's almost time for our laugh lift.
Yes.
But first, a word from our sponsor.
So while we do not yet have a corporate sponsor, we do have some fabulous patrons who have and continue to sponsor us.
And today we want to send a special shout out along with squishes and squeezes to Deanna Laughlin, who is a monthly contributor to StoweGood.
Thanks, Dee.
So one of the great things I think about getting older is getting bolder. Mm-hmm. So today we are boldly asking for your support to keep the podcast and the music coming.
Yes, please go to StoweGood.live, and find links on ways that you can get involved. Visit our Patreon page and become a StoweGood sponsor. And please consider us for a unique musical keynote for your next event.
And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please hit subscribe and take a moment to write a review. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now it's time for the laugh lift. We found 3 pretty good jokes on the subject of today's podcast. So Will Rogers says, we could certainly slow the aging process down if it had to work its way through Congress.
And I love this one by Irma Bombeck. The only reason I would take up jogging is so that I could hear heavy breathing again.
Oh, Irma. And someone said, regular naps prevent old age, especially if you take them while driving. Oh, dear.
So that's it for today, but we want to remind you that miracles are like chin hairs. Once you start looking for them, it's amazing how many you find.
And for every chin hair, also look for a miracle, because we know they're out there. And we hope you'll share this podcast, share the Tweezer Song with your best girlfriend or your sister. We think it's destined for a Grammy or possibly a granny.
So thanks for being with us today, and join us next time for Musically Speaking with StoweGood. Ciao.